What's up, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're checking out the QBZ-192, one of the most reliable and well-rounded carbines in Battlefield 6. I've got one main build for you today, the one I can 100% recommend, the one I personally like by far the most. There's also a slight variation for those who prefer running a suppressor, but honestly the main build just performs incredibly well in every situation. The first impressions and overview of the QBZ. The QBZ-192 is a versatile carbine that you unlock by completing the Danger Close 1 assignment. It fires at a 771 rate of fire and deals 25 damage up close and 17 at range, putting it right in line with weapons like M4A1, but with significantly less recoil and a slightly slower rate of fire. This combo makes it super reliable at both close quarters and medium range. It has one of the lowest recoil patterns in its class, so staying on target is ridiculously easy. Time to kill wise, you're looking at around 233 milliseconds up close, 311 at mid-range, and 389 at long range, which is actually really competitive for a carbine that handles this smoothly. Why the QBZ-192 works so well? Well, the gun is very consistent. It doesn't necessarily dominate in one specific area, but it performs really well in every scenario. You can take on close quarter gunfights, mid-range duels, and even beam players across the map with a bit of burst control. It's got fast rate of fire, low recoil, a clean iron sights for the ones that like that, and overall fantastic handling. Basically, it feels like an AR SMG hybrid. Fast enough to push objectives, but accurate enough to hold angles. That's how to use the QBZ. Treat the QBZ like a light assault rifle. You can play aggressively with it because of the rate of fire, but don't be afraid to take long range fights. The recoil control is so good that you barely need to tap fire even at mid range. Because the gun is so stable, it's also great for holding lanes or anchoring objectives without having to worry about recoil control. Just keep in mind the damage drop-off hits a bit earlier than full assault rifles, so if you're trying to snipe people at 100 meters, start tap firing or bursting instead of spraying. Attachment and playstyle. For the main build, I focus on keeping the snappy feel of the carbine while boosting accuracy and control even further. It's a setup that performs on every map, whether you're playing Conquest, Breakthrough, or Red Sec, but you have to play aggressive with this build. If you prefer to stay off the radar and play more stealthy, the suppressor variation will do that for you. You lose a little bit of bullet velocity, but the weapon is quiet and still easy to control. This weapon really rewards smart positioning and controlled aggression. You don't need to pre-aim every corner, but if you move carefully and keep mid-range fights, you absolutely shred with it. So the final thoughts. The QBZ-192 is one of those weapons that doesn't look flashy on paper, but it feels incredible in-game. Low recoil, fast rate of fire, reliable TTK, it's everything you want in a carbine. If you haven't unlocked it yet, definitely complete the Danger Close 1 assignment and give it a try. And if you're new here or enjoy these kinds of build weapon guides, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I've got a ton more setups coming for every class and playstyle. Now let's get into the build for the QBZ-192. So here it is. This is the build that I ended up using the most. I barely switched anything after I managed to get all the attachments that you're watching right now. I will make a slight adjustment for the ones that really love running suppressors. So if you're running suppressors, be sure to watch the entire thing. I'll show that in the end. It is honestly a slight variation of this build, so it's still going to be super snappy and quick as you saw in the clips in the background. Starting off at the sight, I ended up using the OSA7 sight the most. Honestly, all the one-time scopes are going to work fine. You can even run off some of the 1.25 time zooms are good, 1.5 even because the recoil is so low, and maybe even the 1.75. Personally, I just stuck to the one-time scope, so with the aggressive playstyle that I was using. But for the ones that like to run higher scopes, it is possible because the recoil on this thing is so predictable and low. You might be really well off with a 1.75 time zoom. Wouldn't really recommend anything higher than the 2 times though. Then moving over to the laser, I'm running the green laser sight. If you don't like that it's visible, you might want to run the red laser sight instead, which will give you some points for a suppressor, for example. I really like running the green laser sight. Keep in mind with the green laser sight that it is visible to the enemy player, so they will be able to see that laser. So you got to be really aware, especially inside buildings where your laser is pointing. You cannot be hiding in a corner and then point your laser straight forward because they will see it. It's basically the same like a flashlight. You let people know where you are. So if you're hiding in a corner trying to reload, you know, gain some health again when you're in the middle of a gunfight, be sure to point your gun down. You gotta be very smart when you're running lasers in this game. Same for the blue laser. Blue laser works fine as well. If you want to have a little bit more accuracy while moving and you don't hip fire as much as I do, then run that blue laser. It's gonna be good as well. Over to the muzzle, we got the flash hider. There's not a lot of options when it comes to muzzles in this game. You only have the flash hider converter or suppressor, so the combinations with this gun are pretty low. Flash hider honestly is one of the best ones you can have. And moving over to the barrel, I went with the extended barrel. You improve the projectile velocity by quite a bit. As you can see, it goes from 644 to 805, so that's quite a bit of a difference. And you keep that ADS speed that the basic barrel has as well, so definitely worth trying that on. It makes it much easier to track players that are like mid to long range. If you're trying to tap fire, it just kills them a bit quicker. It's definitely noticeable with how fast the TTK is in Battlefield 6 to have a little bit of a better projectile velocity. Now, this is an important one. It's the full angled. The moderately reduces recoil, improves weapon draw speed, and enable a slightly faster transition to aim down sight at the cost of ADS accuracy while moving. You basically don't want to strafe anymore as much. What you could see me do in the clips earlier is that whenever I'm shooting, I'm kind of not moving anymore. I'm just standing still unless it's like a hipfire kill. Then spread doesn't really matter because you have spread anyways. So up close you can strafe around, hipfire away. Even ADSing, you'll still be accurate, of course, because even if your bullets land a little bit next to your reticle, you're going to be fine. But when you use this one, be sure to have that kind of stopping motion when you're trying to kill players from mid-range and when you're trying to tap fire, because as soon as you start moving, you're going to notice that accuracy dip really kicking fast. If you don't like that, if you like to strafe, go with the slim angled. You have a little bit less recoil control. It goes from, where's that, 48 to 45, so it's not much, but it is a difference, and this will allow you to strafe a little bit more again, so be sure to switch those around if you don't like that. I really noticed the moderately reduced recoil on this, and I felt like it gave me a bit more steadiness, so I ended up going with the full angled here. Then I ended up going with the 30 fast. You run through bullets quite quickly with this one, but with the 30 fast, it's reloaded super quickly. The only way I thought it could be worth it if you're running the 40 round mag, because you run through bullets really quickly, but the reload speed is just quite a bit faster with the 30 fast, and you're gonna be fine. You know, get 2-3 kills, reload fast, and then you're back to the fight again. So I ended up going with that 30 fast round. Then we have the FMJ standard penetration animation. Ammunition. You can go with this one if you don't mind the recoil as much. I thought the FMJ rounds were just good enough and keep it in steady. Then I'm using the rail cover, which I believe is a season 1 attachment. I'm not 100% sure, but it improves weapon draw speed. It's only available on certain weapons, so keep that in mind. The rail cover, it's a good attachment, but I don't know if you have it unlocked if you just rank up this weapon. Not 100% sure on that. Now, going over to the slight adjustments you can make if you want to run a suppressor, and I kind of already said it at the beginning of the video. You remove the green laser and go to a red laser right there, and then you have enough points to run the suppressor, so you go like that. Very good build still, like this. Also, if you want to run the extended mag and you don't hip fire much, what also is a very good build is you remove the laser completely, and then you still need 5 points. You remove the rail cover. That's what I wanted to do. And then you have the 40 round extended, also very good. I think the two main important attachments are the angled grip and the extended here. This is quite a bit different of what I've used though in the clips. So hopefully this video is going to be useful. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.